So hey everybody, welcome back to Radioactive Inc. I'm your host, Fletcher Stump. Now, first off, you may notice that it seems a little bit brighter. It's because I have my new lighting here, and it is bright as fuck. Let me tell you, it's a great lighting. It's from Lumos Studios, and they have great stuff. It's working out great. I mean, this thing would light up my room if I turned my regular light off. But again, I'll do more on that later. I'll probably, give you guys a rundown of, my setup and the equipment that I use and all that. But for this video now, it seems like every year there's a company that comes out as the loser for that year. And I don't mean like, the company sucks or whatever. I just mean that the company that year does not do well. They are just at the bottom of the rung on everything. And as surprising as it may be, this year's loser is shaping up to be Nintendo. Now, hang on. Before all of you start freaking out and going, oh my god, somebody else hating on Nintendo. It's like, no. This is just straight statistics, okay? Nintendo is shaping up to be this year's losing company. Now, here's why. Nintendo has helped shape the gaming industry and the gaming market as we know it. I mean, they pretty much saved video gaming. And, for that, everybody's thankful, but everybody also took their cues on everything that they do, including how to work the system better. Now, over the years, Nintendo has had consoles come out. They've had games, like amazing games, might I add, just incredible games, from Mario to Zelda, Splatoon, and, everything in between. But here in turn lies the issues. These games are on Nintendo consoles. Do you see where I'm starting to go? Now, Nintendo has announced the Switch, and everybody's, prepared for that, and everybody's all excited. But what most people didn't know is that there was a 7% drop in Nintendo stocks as soon as the Switch was announced. Now, be it good or bad for things to come, I see it as bad. Now, here's a main issue that has happened with Nintendo consoles over the years. Now, with the original consoles, like the cartridges and everything, developers had to basically compress their games down to fit them on these cartridges. And we saw the same issue come out with the GameCube. It was a powerhouse for what it was, but it forced developers to sit there and compress their games onto these tiny little discs, and it didn't leave people much wiggle room for anything else. It was like, here's your game, that's it, that's all you get. This is all we have room for on this tiny little compact disc. That's it. So, what do you think the issue is going to come about with the Switch, which is running off of, like, 3DS cartridges? How do you think developers are going to be handling that? Now, I mean, you're going to run into the exact same problem that you've had before. You're going to run into the fact that there's not going to be any extra room for anything else. You're going to have the game, that's it, that's all you get. That's all we can afford to put on, so that's all you get. Now, I don't know if Nintendo just likes running in the circle just so they can come back with something amazing that will save them, or if they're just not paying attention. I mean, we had, I think the number was like only roughly around like 15 million Wii U's were sold. That's not a lot in the grand scheme of things, considering that Xbox had 25 million Xbox Ones and PlayStation, at the start of, like, around 2016, had roughly, I think it was like 35 million PlayStations. Now, of course, the numbers for Microsoft and PlayStation fluctuate back and forth over who's currently leading console sales. I mean, it's just kind of up and down. But Nintendo having so many exclusives limits themselves, because I tell you what, I'm not going to pay $300 for a console for one game. I don't see a point. There's no reason to do that. Now, of course, you have, like, with the Switch coming out, you have a lot of different developers getting on board with it. Even Bethesda is going to be working with Nintendo. But to bring Elder Scrolls Skyrim to it. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong, that's really cool because, I mean, now Elder Scrolls will be across all platforms, but in turn, therein lies the problem. Elder Scrolls will be available on every platform. Now, I have played Elder Scrolls on Xbox. I never beat it, but, you know, that's me. I mean, with an RPG, I just, eventually I just kind of get bored because it's just running around back and forth. But people have been playing this game on other consoles. They are cemented in it on other consoles. They're not going to turn around and pay $300 for the Switch just to play Skyrim when they own it on a different console. Now, one thing that I think could save Nintendo, like, immensely, is that if they stop with the consoles, just completely stop with the consoles, and do what Sega has done and become a third-party developer and release your games upon, you know, multiple consoles. I think it would be amazing. I think everybody would be happy about it. And I might even start playing more Nintendo games if that happened. Like, I just don't see a point in getting a Nintendo console for a Nintendo exclusive. It doesn't sit with me. Now, of course, I got the Xbox for Halo, but, I mean, hey, that's just me. I've been with Halo since the start of it all, so yeah, I was going to turn around and do that. Now, of course, you know, I also need a PlayStation because everybody who knows me knows that I love Kingdom Hearts. Thank God it's still coming to the Xbox One. Thank you! Ugh, there was a God smiling down upon me. I'm not sure which one, but a God was doing it, you know. So, I do believe that is the best thing to keep Nintendo from having possibly one of the worst years ever, is to just kind of say, okay, we're done with the consoles. It's time to become a third-party developer. Now, you have the handhelds. You guys own the market in handhelds, which is fantastic because, honestly, who doesn't love the damn 3DS? I've literally, like, that's what got me through, like, 5 months of complete boredom during my training for, well, you know, we'll just say training. But it got me through 5 months of boredom having a Nintendo 3DS in my hands so I could play Pokemon and Dream Drop Distance and all kinds of other shit. And I think that's great. Like, keep on with the handhelds. They're great. People love them. They're amazing for kids and a way to step into gaming at an easier pace. But when it comes to consoles, you guys are unfortunately falling behind. And, I mean, yeah, we owe a lot to Nintendo being, you know, kind of the grandfather of the industry, but I think it's time to just focus on games and leave the consoles to bigger powerhouses. But who knows? Maybe the Switch will do great and Nintendo will prove to be a winner for 2017, but right now it just does not look like it. But these are my thoughts on it. Feel free to share your thoughts with me down there in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, you know, all that good stuff. And stick around because we got more videos coming up. I'm kind of getting back into the swing of things. I was just waiting on the equipment to show up, but now that it's here, I'm getting back into it. So, till the next time, everybody, I'm Fletcher Stump with Radioactive Inc., signing off.